So I've been sitting here doing some thinking today because I get down on them all the time, right? The younger generation. So I had to start thinking, what creates this generational divide? What changes the outlook? Like, why do we look down on them? Why do they think that we are completely out of touch and don't get them so much? So I got thinking of the varying factors that are involved in creating this generational divide between X, Y, and Z. And it sounds like it's the end when you say it that way, X, Y, Z, but it's not. So I got looking, and you sit there, and there seems to be some main items that cause these things, such as, societal values change, the technological advancements that alter the way a generation interacts and sees the world. Economic circumstances definitely change the way everybody looks, which add to some cultural shifts. So I want to take a minute and just go over a few of these and just see how they might particularly change something. We must begin to acknowledge that each generation's experiences unique cultural influences, from music and art to social norms and values. I mean, these cultural differences, particularly discrepancies in what's considered societal norms to the previous generation, can create a divide between generations that gets larger as time goes on. Next, when you fold into that, we have the technology. Specifically, the pace of technology has changed so rapidly, especially in recent decades. It's not uncommon for older generations, Gen X included, to struggle to adapt to some of these new technologies, leading to a divide between those who grew up with certain technologies and those who did not. Now, I know there are some of you who will say, not me, I can use all the new tech. Well, to this I say, it currently changes at such a rapid pace that you will slowly yourself be left further and further behind when it comes to technology adaptation. And basically, we have a general attitudes and beliefs are shaped by historical events and societal changes, such as wars, civil rights movements of the past, and economic fluctuations. And then when you get to the economic fluctuations, we got circumstances such as recessions, job markets, inflation, which can all significantly impact different generations. For example, the older generations may have faced different economic challenges compared to younger ones, leading to a different perspective on the financial matters that we all face on a daily basis. From whether you need to save now or spend now, do I worry about the future? Right now, I don't have time to worry about the future because everything is taken up worrying about now. It takes me into communication, which has a huge technologically influenced the way everything is. Like, for instance, younger generations prefer this digital communication. And it seems to me like they have forgotten how to communicate. While older generations, we prefer, myself, face-to-face interactions, which I believe personally face-to-face is an important form of communication, especially when it has to do with business or something very personal. You have to see them, you look them in the eye, you have that handshake, you need that feel and that contact to truly understand what is being discussed at that time during this communication interaction, which is something that seems to really be missing with the younger generations when they adopt all this technology and want to communicate, virtually and just with digitally through all technology. Which now we get the digital technology, which has changed the access to education. Also the access to information. I mean, it has gone such a significant changes over the years that disparities in education opportunities and the availability of information greatly influences the perspective and values of different generations. However, the problem I see as it is that people often equate having access to information with being educated, which is not entirely true. I mean, we have reached a point where people tend to believe everything they read on a subject without verifying facts or sources, and this makes it difficult to change their opinions, regardless of whether they are right or wrong. So having access to the information does not automatically equal educated. But now all this adds to different life experiences and life events differently, because it changes. All these things combined changes a generation's attitude towards marriage, home ownership, career aspirations. These things all vary based on social economic conditions, especially those that are through one's formative years. Now, these factors don't always create divide, but they definitely contribute to the differences in perspectives, values, and behaviors between generations. Now, sometimes these differences can lead to misunderstanding and conflict, but they can also enrich our society by bringing the diverse viewpoints to a table if we are willing to sit down at the table and talk and discuss with somebody that isn't exactly as we are. And that is where I stand with that. Now, this is Drac saying until next time, peace out, everyone.